So the Colorado Avalanche have lost to the Dallas Stars in 6 games in the second round, and that is now 2 straight seasons that they don't even make the conference finals, let alone the Stanley Cup finals. And if we go back 2 years ago when they won the cup, we all thought there was a dynasty brewing here in Colorado, but I mean, they have had 2 rough years since then. Gabriel Landeskog is out for a while, missed the whole season. Valeri Nichushkin is having his own problems to deal with, and right now GM Pasta is on the job trying to rebuild Colorado. You know the deal, boys. We have 5 years to win a Stanley Cup with this team, and honestly, if we don't, I'll be very disappointed considering they're one of the better built teams in the entire game. Now, taking a look at their contracts, we do got to re-sign Casey Middlestat by the end of the season. He's probably going to want a little bit of a raise. He's only making $2.3 million. A guy like Jonathan Drouin isn't even making $1 million. He'll definitely be wanting a bigger contract, and I would like to bring him back, honestly. Nobody else we really need to sign, but we do need to shore up our goaltending. Alexander Georgiev is not going to cut it if we want to win a Stanley Cup. So that is the first order of business here in Colorado. I'm going to have to go out, find a goaltender for us in order to help prove this roster, because that's really the only weak point of this Colorado team. They got great forwards, great defense. So I'm going to go for a backup here in Connor Lingbaum, I believe his name is, for Franco's 3rd, 4th, and a 5th. And the Vegas Golden Knights have accepted our offer. I'm going after another goaltender also. I just know that he grows to a high overall in this game, so in case we have to trade the goalie we're going after here. All right, so the goalie of the future that I want to go after is none other than Dustin Wolf. High elite potential for Georgiev, a 1st, 4th, and a 6th. Let's see if Calgary will do it, and they are totally unwilling to part ways. What if I add Valeri Nichushkin into the deal? Maybe then will they accept the offer. I will add him into the deal and take back Blake Coleman, and the trade is still ready. So the goalie of the future that I'm going after is none other than Devin Levi. He's got 2 years left on his deal, medium elite potential. Obviously, he's still very young. He might take a slight step back goaltending-wise this season, but for Georgiev, a 4th and a 6th round pick. And luckily, the Buffalo Sabres have accepted our offer. Now, I'm not exactly sure if Calgary will accept this offer, but Valeri Nichushkin for Mackenzie Weegar, straight up 1-for-1. I am going to have to add a 7th, a 6th, and another 7th into the draft, or not the draft, what am I saying? So we are going to go Valeri Nichushkin for Mackenzie Weegar, also add in some picks to make the deal work, and the trade is still rejected. And thankfully, Calgary has accepted my offer, slotting in a 2nd round pick for Mackenzie Weegar. Obviously, Nichushkin in real life will not play for Colorado. He's not playing for the team next year. There's 0 chance he might go to the KHL, get traded, get bought out. But I mean, they ripped off his nameplate literally before the game even started. I am going absolutely all in on the early seasons here, besides my goaltending, obviously. Shane Gostisbehere for a 1st, a 3rd, 4th, and a 5th. Let's see if Detroit will do it, and they have. And I don't believe we have any more cap space. We have 1 mil. What on earth am I saying? We have $1 million. All right, so I said no more trades, but I'm going after Logan Stankoven. I think he fits in very well with this Avs roster. For Trennan, a 2nd and a 3rd. And the Dallas Stars have accepted my offer. They're going to be cheering on the streets. Okay, calm down. So here's a look at our lines. We got Drouin, McKinnon, and Rantanen on the first line. Casey Middlestat will be the 2nd line center with Landy and Stankoven. We also have Artturi Lehkonen, Ross Colton, and Miles Wood. And our 4th line is not the greatest, but if we take a look at our decor, Taves and Makar, Mackenzie Weegar, Shane Gostisbehere, Samuel Girard, and Josh Manson, we have upgraded defensively, which can counteract the fact that we have a very young starting goalie in Devin Levi, 81 overall, 21 years old, and Lindbaum as our backup, who's only a 75 overall and won't be good until like year 2 or maybe 3. But overall, I do believe we have a Stanley Cup contender here in Colorado. Hopefully we can get it done. So we are currently at the trade deadline, absolutely rolling, 47-14-4. I'm going to give up our prospect and Richie, also Miles Wood to clear up salary kit. All right, so we are absolutely rolling here at the trade deadline, 47-14-4. I'm going to give up our prospect and Richie. Also, Miles Wood, a 2nd and another 2nd for JT Compher. I believe he played for Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. And Detroit, it's a no-brainer for them as they have accepted my offer. Now, at the end of the season, we are going to finish with a record of 57-20-5, 119 points. Obviously, the top of our division and the entire NHL. All by Toronto, New York was up there, Tampa Bay, and Florida. Also, Dallas, we're probably going to have to go through. Nathan McKinnon is going to have an electric season, 51 goals, 129 points, followed by Rantanen, who had 112, also almost 50 goals himself. Makar had 102, Landy, 78, Drouin, 65, Middlestat 63, also 30 goals. So offensively, we were absolutely amazing. And if we take a look at our goalies, Devin Levi won 50 games, lost 15, 2 in overtime, 3 shutouts, and a 910 save percentage. This dude might honestly win the Vezina at 22 years old. He's up to an 84 already. And after the amazing season he just had, he's definitely going to bolster. Now for the entire NHL, McKinnon will lead everybody in scoring with 129, followed by Matthews, who had 123. Rantanen was up there. Draisaitl had a good season, and Braden Point himself. Why am I saying himself so much in this video? Now if we take a look at the goals side, Matthews will lead with 67, followed by Pasta at 57, McKinnon 51, Rantanen 49. Draisaitl had a good season. Devin Levi is going to have the most wins out of any goalie, break the all-time wins record in a single season at 50, and for shutouts, it will go to UC Saros, who had 9. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to play the Nashville Predators. So basically Drake and company. Thankfully, we did beat the Preds in 7 games in the first round, and now we have the Dallas Stars in round number 2. This should be a very tough series. A back and forth. I could honestly see it going 7. Unfortunately, we would end up losing in Game 7 to the Dallas Stars as the Rangers go on and win the Stanley Cup, beating Vegas in 7 games in the finals. Nathan McKinnon was absolutely electric in the playoff run. 8 goals, 27 points in only 14 games. Mikko Rantanen had 25. Drouin had 18. He's the perfect line mate for those two guys. Makar had 16. JT Compher was a good pickup. Although I think his contract's not up. He has 5 more years left. Matthews is going to win the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, and Hart Trophy, while the Art Ross will go to McKinnon. Cale Makar is going to win the Norris Trophy. Redman the Conn Smythe. Igor Shesterkin will take home the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Ryan O'Reilly. Now, we only have $8 million in cap space, and we got to get back Casey Middlestat, who is a restricted free agent, so I could always qualify him. I'd also like to get back Gostisbehere, who was an 86 overall, and I think that's the only guys we do need to sign. Drouin is another guy I want to get back, but outside of that, I think we are good. Now, the first order of business is done. We got back Jonathan Drouin. He actually he asked for a major deal, like $5.7 million for a 30-year-old who's only an 83 overall. Is kind of wild, but we could always move him if I do not feel like he's producing. So here we are in free agency with very little cap space to spend. 3.2 mil. I might pick up a depth forward or a defenseman. We are going to lose Shane Gostisbehere. He's asking for $6 million. We literally cannot afford him. Also, Casey Middlestat's an RFA. So hopefully he will re-sign for one more season at a very cheap deal. So thankfully, qualifying Middlestat for an RFA worked out as he's back for one more season. We might honestly have to move him at the deadline if we are in cap hell, because he's most likely going to be asking for like a $6.5 million deal. All right, this might hurt a lot of Avs fans, but Gabriel Landeskog, you got to go, brother. You got 1 year or 5 years left on your deal, and you're most likely the odd man out. We do have to re-sign Rantanen next season, so I want to clear up some cap space, get a great prospect back, already 88 overall, Pavel Mintyukov, I believe his name is. So let's see 1 for 1 if the Ducks will accept this offer. They've rejected it. Okay, I might have to sweeten the deal just a touch here. Throw in a 3rd and a 1st round pick for Mintyukov. Let's see. And the trade has been accepted by the Anaheim Ducks, and now we bolstered our D-core. We actually lost Gostisbehere, but we added Mintyukov, who's technically better. So our forward core is pretty much going to stay the same for right now. First line's amazing. Second line's decent. I mean, Middlestat should grow to like an 86, 87. Hopefully, I don't know if he will. Our 3rd line is kind of okay. We do have Comfer and Lekin in there. 4th line is what it is. Now, defensively, we are much improved. Mintyukov doesn't really fit with Makar or Mackenzie Weegar, and if we go Devon Taves and Weegar, they get a +5, so I will throw him on the 3rd D pair. We got Girard up with Makar, and in goal, we have an 86 overall Devin Levi, and of course, Lindbaum is down in the minors. Hopefully he can grow. Obviously, he's going to be a backup if he's in the NHL, so he won't be able to develop the same if he was in the American Hockey League. So overall, this team can still produce offensively with McKinnon and Rantanen, 97 and 95 overall. So I'm not too worried about scoring. Defensively, we are very good also. And in goal, Devin Levi is getting better by literally the minute. Also, it is a new era in Colorado. Nathan McKinnon, the newest captain of the Avalanche. I mean, he's been watching Gabriel Landeskog since he was 18 years old. Landy's only like a year or two older, but I'm sure he's ready at like 28, 29, or 30 years old to be a captain now. Hopefully he can lead us to a Stanley Cup, another Stanley Cup, of course. So here we are at the deadline trying to get Patrick Kane for our playoff run. We're going to give up a 6th round pick, a 7th, and a prospect. Let's see. Detroit's still rejecting our offer, so I might have to sweeten the deal just a tad here. Maybe throw in another 2nd round pick, our final 2nd round pick. I'm just dishing out picks left and right, and the Red Wings have accepted a done deal. Patrick Kane, welcome to the team. Next guy I'm going after here at the deadline is Esa Lindell. 1 year left on his deal, making $5.4 million for a 4th, 5th, 3rd, and foodie. And the trade has been rejected. The only thing I can really do here is add in another 3rd round pick. And luckily, the Dallas Stars accepted our offer. Now, at the end of the season, we are going to finish with a record of 45, 30, and 7, 97 points. 2nd in our division behind the Blackhawks, and the Edmonton Oilers would win 57 games. Winning the President's Trophy. Obviously, Colorado, we were top 7 in the league, which is not bad at all. Nathan MacKinnon is going to somewhat take a slight step back. 29 goals, 92 points. Rantanen had 51 goals, 88 points. Patrick Kane had a very good season at 81. Makar only had 55 and was a minus 13, so I'm kind of worried about that. Also, only 5 goals. Ross Colton had 54. Middlestaff, 53. Drouin had 50. And if we take a look at Devin Levi, 31, 23, and 6. 5 shutouts and a 915 save percentage, which are very good numbers for a 23-year-old goalie who now is an 86 overall. Connor McDavid's going to lead the NHL in scoring with 113 points, followed by Nugent Hopkins, who had 111, Barkov 107, and Matthews 106. Speaking of Matthews, 68 goals, leading all scorers, followed by Rantanen, who had 51, Draisaitl 47, Pasta 47, and Jack Eichel also. Devin Levi, let's see, would he have the most shutouts? He would be tied for the most shutouts in the entire NHL at 5. And yet again in the first round, we have to play the Nashville Predators. We would get rid of the Preds in 6 games in the first round, and now we're up against Bedard and the Blackhawks in round number 2. We beat them in 6 games also, and now we have the Winnipeg Jets in the conference finals. Luckily, we would beat the Jets in game 7 of the conference finals. Now in the finals, we are up against the New York Rangers, who I believe are trying to go back-to-back. I could be wrong on that, but regardless, they have a very tough team in New York. Very loaded, very stacked, but just like us, let's see who's going to go on and take home the Stanley Cup at the end of the 2nd season. And the Colorado Avalanche are going to get it done here in year number 2 over the Rangers in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. GM Pasta has completed the challenge. In only 2 seasons, we got the job done here with the Avs. And I mean, they already had a great team. I just had to add a little touch here and there. Bring in a guy like Devin Levi, bolster our D-core at Mintyukov and the other guys I brought in, and fill out our 3rd and 4th lines very nicely. Now, Nathan MacKinnon is going to win the Conn Smythe. 22 goals and 41 points for the dog. One of the best playoff runs in the history of the NHL. Holy hell, that dude was literally lights out the entire playoff run, and we are going to be able to raise the Stanley Cup yet again, this time in MSG, the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. We won in Tampa in 2022, and here comes our new captain, Nathan MacKinnon, coming to lift the Stanley Cup for the 2nd time in his career, first as a captain in his very first season as a captain, as the Colorado Avalanche yet again are Stanley Cup champions. I am now literally playing with house money because I've already completed the challenge. I can do whatever I want with this Avs roster. If I want to win a Stanley Cup, another one, we can do that. MacKinnon, obviously, great playoff run, 41 points. Patrick Kane had 27 at 36 years old. Rantanen, 23. Makar had 20. Austin Matthews is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, and Hart Trophy. The Art Ross to McDavid. The Norris to Adam Fox. Obviously, the Conn Smythe went to the dog. Stuart Skinner is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Sidney Crosby. So we are going to have a very tricky offseason. We got to get back, who is it here? Mikko Rantanen, he's going to want a big boy contract, and Devin Levi also needs to get signed. So hopefully we can get that done. God, Devin Levi decided to re-sign, as well as Mikko Rantanen. So here we are in free agency. We were not able to sign Patrick Kane, and also Esa Lindell will walk to free agency. We did qualify Casey Middlestaff for an RFA. I don't know if he's going to accept it because he did that last season as well. But I mean, we only have $5.5 million cap space. I'm not going to sign anybody, I don't think. If anything, I'm going to trade Jonathan Drouin, making way too many dollars for an 83 overall winger. So that will shore up some cap space for us. playoffs. So we have signed Igor Sharangovich in the free agency. He was extremely happy to accept my offer. And Casey Middlestat tried to sign with our team, but we have no cap space for his services. So taking a look at our roster heading into the third season, we got Colton, McKinnon, and Rantanen on the first line. Sharangovich slots in very nicely as our second line center at an 87 overall. Stankoven's up there with Middlestat. Our third line is not the greatest, and fourth line isn't either. Now, defensively, we are going to take a slight step back. Pavel Mintyukov, I don't know why he does not work with Cale Makar, but I'll leave him on the second pair with Uyghur. And then we have Taves and Makar. And in goal, we're rocking with an 89 overall Devin Levi and an 85 Carl Lindbaum. I don't know why I thought his name was Connor, but regardless, it is a very good goaltending tandem to go into the playoffs with, even the regular season. All right, so Yaroslav Askarov is on the trading block. Obviously, he does need to be re-signed in the offseason. I am aware of that, but I'm going to load up and try to get him so we can have the best goaltending tandem in the entire NHL. Lindbaum, a second, sixth, seventh, and a first. Let's see. And the Predators have accepted our trade offer. So we got absolutely cooked this season, finishing dead last in our division, going 31, 42, and 9, only 71 points. And I mean, even before I made that trade deadline trade, we were really bad outside of the playoff spot. We just did not have a good season. Blackhawks were the best in our division, and the New York Rangers for the entire NHL. Nathan McKinnon is still going to have a somewhat good season. Now, this is why I brought in Askarov. Everybody was minuses on the team. Minus 20, minus 33 for Cale Makar. We were horrible defensively. We put up some numbers. 95 points, 77. Rantanen at 72. Middlestat 56. Ross Colton 42. But I mean, we were all minuses across the board. An absolutely terrible team. Levi was not very good, only 2 shutouts, an .896 save percentage, and Askarov, he played 45 games, most of them with Nashville, but hopefully these guys can split the games coming into next season, both almost at a 90 overall apiece. Brad Marchand's going to lead everybody in scoring with 117 points, and for goals, it will be none other than David Pasternak, who had 64. And the Vancouver Canucks will go on and beat the Rangers in Game 7 of the finals to finally capture their first in franchise history. Brad Marchand's going to win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. The Maurice Richard will go to Pasta. The Norris to Evan Bouchard. JT Miller the Conn Smythe. Igor Shesterkin will win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Sid the Kid yet again. So in the re-sign phase, I am going to be qualifying Askarov for an RFA. Also, Mintyukov is an RFA, so I will qualify him also. There's 2 guys that I do want to get back, but on cheaper deals. Casey Middlestat, we finally got to sign you to a deal, brother. 4.7 mil for 4 years. I'm comfortable giving you that. And everybody else, honestly, Logan Stankoven, I might want to get back. How much does he asking for? 1.8 mil. I will accept that offer. Why is Casey Middlestat going to reject this at dollar value? That is, I gave you what you were asking for, dude. Stankoven decided to re-sign. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Middlestat is not happy where the team ended up in the standings, so he's off to free agency. And Askarov, we don't have any cap space to sign you. Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll go with it. So it looks like the dirty Pittsburgh Penguins are trying to steal Mintyukov from us. I think I am going to match this offer. 7.3 year for 4 years. Match that offer, and we got him signed. Perfect. Luckily, Askarov has devoted another year to the Colorado Avalanche. Then we'll probably have to sign him. We got Mintyukov done, so we should be able to get Askarov next offseason. Now, heading into year number 4, our offense is a little bit depleted. That's probably because Rantanen and McKinnon are taking so much of the cap up. But I mean, our first line is good. Second line is not bad. Third line, not great. And fourth line, not great either. Defensively, we still have Taves, Makar, Mintyukov, and Uyghur. Also Gerard and Burns. And in goal, we're still rocking with the duo of Askarov and Levi, an 89 and 86 overall goalie. So Levi dropped a lot. I honestly might end up moving off of him this season, considering he's making $5.4 million. And that would free up some cap space to sign Askarov in the offseason for the final year of the video. Okay, so basically at this point, I'm just shopping around goaltenders. Lindbaum is up to a 90 overall, already better than Levi. 2 years left on his deal, making less dollars, so that will shore up a little bit of cap space. I'll add in some draft picks to make it work, and the Nashville Predators will accept their offer after stealing Askarov and Lindbaum from them. They will take back Devin Levi. Now, unfortunately, yet again, we're going to miss the playoffs. 37, 37, and 8, 82 points. I mean, Arizona made it with 92, so we are a little bit behind. Chicago was the best team in the NHL, going 58, 19, and 5. Nathan McKinnon's going to have a decent season, I guess. 32 goals, 80 points. Rantanen had 71. Makar only 65 and was a minus 17. Mintyukov had 52. Ross Colton, 48. And if we take a look at our goaltenders, Askarov played 50 games, 21, 25, 25-4, no shutouts, and not the greatest stats. Lindbaum, on the other hand, was very good with a 921, but a lot of these games were probably with the Predators. Leon Draisaitl is going to lead everybody in scoring with 105 points, and for goals, it will be none other than Austin Matthews, who had 61. And somehow the Columbus Blue Jackets will go on and win the Stanley Cup, beating Vancouver in 6 games in the finals. Draisaitl is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, the Maurice Richard to Matthews, the Norris to Quinn Hughes. Johnny Hockey is going to win the Conn Smythe. Igor the Vezina and the Selke will go to Barkov. So now in the re-sign phase, there's 2 big guns we got to get back. Cale Makar is going to be asking for a major deal, and of course Askarov, who's an RFA at 87 overall. I could just honestly qualify him yet again. I think I'm actually going to do that. Let's see if he will accept that offer. Now, Cale Makar is going to want a big boy contract, $12 million. I'm going to lower that to 12.6. 7 years. I have to give him this deal. It's goddamn Cale Makar. So Samuel Girard does want to test free agency. Cale Makar re-signed. And we got Askarov back on a 1-year deal. Luckily for us, there's only 1 year left in the video. And we also are going to be adding Sidney Crosby through free agency to team up with Nathan MacKinnon, a dynamic duo. Also best friends. So they'll be able to sleep together, kiss together, cuddle, all that good stuff. All right, so here we are in the 5th and final season. Our offense is totally cooked. I mean, outside of McKinnon and Rantanen, Crosby's already down to an 81. I don't even know if I should have signed him. So yeah, offensively, we are absolutely horrible. Sharangovich hasn't grown at all. Now, defensively, we are still pretty good. Makar, Taves, Mintikov, Uyghur. We also have these guys that are bottom pair, which honestly isn't the worst bottom pair I've ever seen. And in goal, we have Lindbaum at a 90. And Askarov at an 87, so at least one of these goaltenders will be very good. I am going to trust the process. Shout out Joel Embiid, as the Colorado Avalanche offensively have fallen off a map, maybe due to my trades and maybe not signing the players that I should have signed, but I mean, at the end of the day, we did win a Stanley Cup, so I got the job done. You guys can never get mad at me for that, as long as I do complete the challenge. I was playing with basically house money for the rest of the simulation for the next 3 years, so thankfully in the final season, we have made the playoffs as we went 42, 34, and 6, 90 points, 3rd in our division. Cale Makar is actually going to lead our team in scoring with 95 points, followed by Rantanen, who had 82, 39 goals. McKinnon only had 79, Crosby 76, Stankoven 47. And if we take a look at our goalies, Lindbaum played most of the season, 32, 26, and 3, 2 shutouts, and only a 909 save percentage. Austin Matthews is going to end up leading the entire league in goals with 71 and points with 112. And we have to play the St. Louis Blues in the first round of the playoffs. St. Louis pretty much dominated us in the first round in 5 games as the Carolina Hurricanes go on, get the job done over the Oilers in 6 games of the finals. As Matthews is going to take home all the awards, the Norris will go to Quinn Hughes, the Conn Smythe to Jake Gensel, Igor Shesterkin, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Matty Beniers of the Kraken. And that will do it for this video, boys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on notifications so you get notified when I go live or either post a video. And we got the job done. GM Pasta won Colorado another Stanley Cup, their first in 5 years. As every other season, we weren't very good. We made the playoffs against Dallas in year number 1. Then after we won the Stanley Cup in year number 2, we missed the playoffs 2 straight seasons, and then for the final season, lost in the first round. So overall, it is a plus. I got the job done, completed the challenge. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see next. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.